Welcome everyone to another edition of Play It Through, and on this edition it's another one of those ROM hacks, bootleg kind of games. This is Rescue Kuck. I saw it and I immediately laughed out loud at the name alone. You can probably guess why if you, yeah. Anyway, this is a ROM hack of Donkey Kong Jr. It's part of one of those 64-in-1, like, bootleg carts. It's just a really weird ROM hack in general. For the most part, it doesn't really change anything up from Donkey Kong Jr. You're still jumping over enemies, but in this case, it's tanks. Enemy tanks, blue and red tanks. There's a weird blue circle guy, kind of like Lolo or an M&M with arms and legs. Your guy is like a superhero, maybe possibly like a weird Ninja Turtle-esque kind of character. I have no idea. And the character you're saving, which is usually, of course, Donkey Kong, in this case is like a ROM hack sprite of a Smurf that's been done now like brown and tan. I honestly have no idea. If you have any more information about what exactly this is supposed to represent, maybe in wherever this bootleg's from, there is some kind of license that resembles this. Maybe there's an anime or something that I don't know anything about that somehow resembles something of this nature. Please inform me, because I don't know. I saw it. The name alone caught my attention. And since I like Donkey Kong Jr. so much, I figured I'd go ahead and do a very small playthrough of it to show off the brilliance that this is. So it's not just a great name, but it is an interesting one just because of what is involved here with this particular hack. It's still the same game though, same levels. The 4 levels contained here in the NES version of Donkey Kong Jr., where your goal is to get to the top and of course save, in this case, a giant Smurf. I guess, I don't know, is it a giant Smurf or are we just really, really small? Then the level, normally this is like the locks with the keys. It's kind of like mini radios, weird-looking, deformed NES controllers. I'm not sure exactly what these are supposed to be, but you have to push them all up towards the very top of the screen while avoiding the red tanks that are rolling up and down. Tanks that are rolling up and down ropes. It's just absolutely absurd. As well as these weird angels that kind of are floating around trying to take us out. I'll do one more playthrough of each of the levels, but the end result here is there's not a whole lot of sprite changing here. You still have Donkey Kong fall at the end on top of Donkey Kong Jr., and our sprite itself didn't even have like a final edited version to replace Donkey Kong Jr. in that last cutscene. So not a ton of effort overall put in to this one. So first level, of course, work our way over to the right side and climb up the chains. I guess they're chains here, and easily reach the top before we get hit by any of the tanks from the M&M. The second level, if you time the jump correctly on the first little spring, you can actually land on the platform up here and make your way over a little bit quicker. Takes some pretty precise timing overall to be able to kind of like pull that off. You also have these weird like hover around robot guys that are dropping things as we kind of make our way over the cane like ropes that are hanging down. The third level is a pretty challenging one overall, especially as you get to harder versions of the levels with the electricity kind of rolling around, but this will actually allow you to get a lot of points easier, and probably the easiest level, I think, to get a lot of points, since you can repeatedly jump over the fast-moving little spark guy at the top and could net yourself a lot of points if that was something that you were going after. And it's also pretty easy to drop the money bags, the bags with the stars on them, whatever they're supposed to be, on top of the enemies. And if you're able to combo multiple enemies with one of the dropped bags, you of course get more points for doing so. I am not an expert by any means as far as strategy goes for high scores in Donkey Kong Jr., so I'm just going from what I know from my experience, because I've always enjoyed the game casually, but no way would I ever go after like a world record or something in an arcade game like this. Especially not one as brilliant as Rescue Kuck. Anyway, so we're now pushing up the weird controller things again. I take out one of the tanks using the thing, and we get to sit back and enjoy the ending one more time with the Smurf changing into Donkey Kong, orange and blue this time, the M&M getting dropped to his doom and then turning into Mario anyway, and then it goes back to the first level. But there you guys go. That's going to wrap up this episode of Play It Through. Just a really quick one here, guys, because this one caught my eye. But thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.